Rosemary was 35 when life hit her hardest. After 7 long years of marriage and countless failed attempts to have a child, her husband left without a word, just a small note on the kitchen table. "I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry." And just like that, he was gone. No goodbye, no face-to-face conversation. Just silence where love used to be. She read the note over and over, hoping it would change. It didn't, and neither did the loneliness that followed. Rosemary battled shame, heartbreak, and the crushing weight of dreams slipping through her fingers. She had wanted to be a mother more than anything. But now she was alone, childless, divorced, and drowning in questions. Who was she without him, without a family? But Rosemary wasn't the kind of woman to stay buried beneath pain. Then one afternoon, while volunteering at a child welfare center, she met 5 boys who changed everything. They were brothers, all under 10, dressed in mismatched clothes and eyes full of questions. Their parents had died in a fire, leaving them orphaned and unwanted. Relatives turned them away, unwilling to raise 5 children at once. One social worker described them as a package deal no one wants. Rosemary looked at them and saw more than abandoned children. She saw something familiar, pain, fear, and the kind of silence that only comes after being rejected too many times. That night she couldn't sleep. Their faces lingered in her mind. She thought about how she once longed to be a mother, how that dream had been stolen from her, and now here was a chance. Not the perfect, planned-out life she once dreamed of, but a real, raw, unfiltered kind of love knocking on her door. She didn't have much, a modest income, a small house, and no partner to share the burden. But she had a heart full of love, and it was screaming to be used. So she made a decision. One by one, she brought them home. First came Henry, the eldest, shy but fiercely protective. Then Kenneth, the quiet thinker with eyes that always seemed to be watching everything. The twins, Joshua and Joseph, arrived next. Inseparable troublemakers with smiles that could light up the darkest room. And finally, baby Divine, the youngest, barely 5, with cheeks so soft you couldn't help but pinch them. The early days were chaos. School fees piled high. Food was sometimes scarce, and sleepless nights became the norm. There were tantrums, broken furniture, scraped knees, and countless trips to the clinic. Teenage years hit like storms. Attitudes flared, voices rose, and doors slammed louder than thunder. But amid the messiness, something beautiful grew. There were moments when they danced in the rain, barefoot and laughing like wild things. They sang together on Sundays, gospel music filling their tiny living room as they ate Galoff rice and told stories over steaming plates. Rosemary taught them how to tie ties, how to apologize, how to cook, and most importantly, how to love. She wasn't perfect. There were days she cried quietly in the bathroom, overwhelmed and unsure. But she never gave up. Every hug, every scolding, every bedtime story was given with the kind of devotion that only a true mother could offer. And slowly, the boys began to thrive. Henry got into university on scholarship. Kenneth started his own tech blog that gained attention online. The twins opened a small fashion line that quickly took off. Divine the baby showed a gift for music that stunned everyone. As the years passed, they moved out. Some even left the country for work and studies. But no matter where life took them, they always came back home to her. Rosemary's little house remained their anchor, filled with memories and laughter. She never asked for anything in return. To her, seeing them happy was reward enough. Time moved like a river, quiet at first, then rushing before you could blink. Rosemary's hair turned grey. Her hands bore the marks of years spent cooking, cleaning, and caring, but her spirit remained strong. She watched proudly as her boys grew into men who stood tall, not just in height, but in character. Henry became a respected engineer, known for his calm mind and steady leadership. Kenneth built a name for himself in tech, creating apps that helped communities connect and thrive. The twins, Joshua and Joseph, expanded their fashion line across borders, dressing celebrities and dignitaries alike. Divine, the baby with the golden voice, became a rising star in music, touching hearts with lyrics that spoke of struggle, hope, and love. They traveled the world. Yet every holiday, every birthday, every family gathering brought them back to the one person who made it all possible. Rosemary. She never asked for anything. Not a gift, not even a thank you. But deep down, she dreamed of something more than the small house she had lived in for over 30 years. It was worn now. The roof leaked when it rained, the floor creaked underfoot, and the paint had long faded. Still, she never complained. On the morning of her 60th birthday, she woke up to the smell of fresh bread and coffee. Her boys had come home, all 5 of them. They filled the house with laughter and chatter, teasing each other like they were still children. She smiled, watching them from her seat on the old wooden bench outside. Life had been hard, but this moment was everything she ever wanted. Then Henry stepped forward, holding something wrapped in white cloth. "Mama," he said softly, "we have something for you." The others gathered around her, eyes full of anticipation. She looked at them, confused but curious. Gifts were rare. She always told them not to waste money on her, but this wasn't a small gift. Henry unwrapped the cloth, revealing a large silver key attached to a ribbon. Rosemary blinked. "What is this?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Kenneth smiled. "It's yours now." Joshua and Joseph stepped aside, revealing a van parked just outside the gate. Inside were glossy photos of a stunning new home, spacious, modern, with bright white walls, wide windows, and a garden blooming with flowers. "We built it together," Divine said, kneeling beside her. "For you, for us, for our family." Tears welled up in her eyes. She couldn't speak. Her heart pounded like it wanted to burst. Years of silent sacrifice, of giving without asking, had led to this moment. I don't know what to say," she whispered, her voice shaking. "You don't have to say anything," Henry said softly. "We just want you to know we remember everything. Every sleepless night over school fees, every meal you made with what little you had, every hug, every prayer, every scolding. You gave us everything when no one else would." They helped her up and guided her to the van. As they drove away from the home where she had spent so many years, she looked back one final time, not with sorrow, but gratitude. That house held memories, joy, tears, lessons, love. So much love. The new home was everything Rosemary never imagined she deserved. But it wasn't just made of bricks and wood. It was built from love, remembrance, and purpose. She moved in slowly, her fingers brushing the walls like she was afraid they'd disappear. There was a large kitchen where she could cook for everyone again, a spacious living room to gather just like old times, and a garden full of roses, her favorite. But the surprises didn't end there. A few weeks later, as the sun set and the sky glowed orange, Henry sat beside her on the porch. "Mama," he began gently, "we want to give you something else, something that truly belongs to you." Kenneth walked out, holding a thick folder. He handed it to her with care. "What's this?" she asked. "A gift," Joseph said. "A promise," Joshua added. Divine smiled. "From us to you." She opened the folder and froze. Inside were official documents, a trust fund set up in her name, signed and sealed. They had all contributed to it. It covered everything: medical needs, travel, even the chance to start a small business if she ever wanted. "You did this for me?" she asked, barely above a whisper. They nodded. "We owe you everything," Henry said. "You gave us life when we had none. Now it's our turn to make sure you live yours in peace." Tears streamed down her cheeks. not from sorrow or even joy, but from a deep sense of peace and purpose. This wasn't the life she had envisioned. Once, she dreamed of a husband, children, a traditional family. But life gave her heartbreak, rejection and silence, and then came 5 little boys who needed her more than anyone else ever had. Through them, she found herself. Months after her 60th birthday, something unexpected happened. One by one, the boys decided to marry, not in separate ceremonies, but together. A grand wedding. 5 grooms, 5 brides, 1 unforgettable day. A celebration not only of love, but of the woman who taught them what love truly means. The wedding became the talk of the region. Sharp suits, radiant brides, music that filled the air, and a front-row seat reserved for only one person, Rosemary. She sat in royal blue, tears in her eyes, pride swelling in her chest. The ceremony didn't begin with the couples. It began with her. "Before we celebrate these 5 men," the MC announced, "let's honor the queen who raised them with strength, love, and grace." The crowd stood. Applause thundered, and for the first time, strangers called her a queen. After the wedding, the story spread. Articles were written. Organizations reached out. A publisher even offered her a book deal. She smiled, not for the attention, but because her quiet sacrifices finally had a voice. Now every Sunday her house is full again. Laughter, children, spilled juice and toy cars under the table. Her grandchildren call her Mama Rose. Neighbors call her the Mother of Kings. And Rosemary, she calls herself grateful. She didn't get the life she once prayed for. She got something even greater. She didn't just raise 5 boys. She raised 5 kings. Rosemary's story proves that even a life marked by pain and loss can carry deep meaning. She wasn't chosen by fate. She chose love. No husband, no wealth, no roadmap. Just heart, just courage, just love. Her worth wasn't defined by society's expectations. She was once seen as childless, forgotten. But in the eyes of 5 boys, she became their world. Love doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It grows in the hard days, the quiet sacrifices, and the unwavering decisions to show up. Family isn't about blood. It's about those who stay, who give, and who love fully. Her pain didn't define her. Her choices did. And in choosing love, she built a legacy far beyond what she ever dreamed. Because sometimes, what the world needs most is someone brave enough to care. If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring real-life stories. Thank you for watching.